Nearly 80 school districts and thousands of students are staying home today. Our rough winter weather has canceled or delayed classes across the valley. And those closings include some larger districts like Fargo, West Fargo, Moorhead. I believe we just heard from East Grand Forks as well. NDSU, MSU Moorhead, and Concordia College. And when they close, you know there is trouble brewing. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for waking up with the Valley today. I'm Lisa Bedeau here with Jordan Schreier. We're just getting you started this morning with that live team coverage of the blizzard that we first forecast for you here on Valley News Live.
And besides all of those closings, dozens of daycares, along with many businesses, are also shutting down today, impacting a lot of families. And no travel is advised across most of eastern North Dakota and into northwestern Minnesota. And states are also starting to shut down some major highways.
The Valley Today's Abby Furchner joins us. She's just kind of in just about north of Fargo, and you can see you get out of those residential areas and conditions are a lot different. Can you tell us just a little bit about what it was like when you first got out there to now, Abby?
Yeah, good morning, Jordan and Lisa. When we first started our trek out here, it wasn't as bad until we hit just outside of West Fargo, really, where we went north just past NDSU. We were trying to make our way up to Hardwood, and we got about, I don't know, we're about 15 minutes from North Dakota State University, so we didn't make it very far until we decided that it wasn't safe enough to keep going. We were going about 30 miles on the highway, and that's when the wind really picked up. But even now, the wind is a lot stronger than it was just an hour ago. I can't believe it. I have never experienced winds this strong, but I want you to look behind me too. We have a few cars. I think we have about 3 cars right now pulled off on the side of the road with their flashers on. At one point, there were 8 cars pulled over on the side of the road with their flashers on, because as you can see with this wind, it's making visibility extremely low. We've been trying to move off onto another side road here to give you a different perspective throughout the morning, and we can barely see feet, inches in front of us even. It is extremely dangerous outside. When cars are making their way through, they are driving slower, and a lot of them are clicking that button to turn their hazards on. So just be really careful if you are traveling today. This is not weather you would want to get stuck in.
You can tell from looking at where you are, Abby, just outside of town. That's why schools are closed. That's why there's the no travel advisory that's expanding. We appreciate you standing out there for us today. Kind of gives us a real view of what it is like. Some
real nasty conditions out there, that's for sure. And we have been talking about this storm hitting our region for the past few days. Our storm team meteorologist Lisa Green warned us. And Lisa, now it's here and it is brutal.
Very tough. You can be prepared for it, but when you step out in it, it still surprises you in some ways because that wind is so strong. That video from Abby, very compelling. And as we're looking out on one of our sky cams here in Fargo, on our Luther Family Ford sky cam, you can even see the camera, which is mounted pretty strongly there, shaking and jostling with that strong wind. You can see the snow blowing by, the reduced visibility as we're looking toward the interchange of 32nd Avenue South and I-29, and the blowing snow in the parking lot too. And that is in town with buildings and other structures helping to break up that wind. We're still having some trouble here. So as we're taking a look at some of our winds that we've seen this morning so far, we've had a peak gust of 61 miles per hour in Grand Forks, some intense wind there, and 50s plus in many parts of the valley. Grafton, Donaldson, the Hendrum and Buxton areas all checking in at 53 miles per hour in some of those spots. Still getting a 51 mile per hour gust in Grand Forks, and in Fargo, one of our peak gusts now at 48 miles per hour. And this has been going on. I want to point out Grand Forks. It's been going on there for some time this morning, since that 2 o'clock hour and even beyond. And we're still getting those intense gusts, and that's all working its way southward. So that means we've got several hours left in Fargo, parts of the Southern Valley, for those kind of intense winds as well as this continues to drive in. And that, of course, also reduces our visibility. We're down to a 1/4 mile in Fargo and in Grand Forks at a 1/4 mile. Other places reporting visibility that low or even worse in open country, indicating those blizzard conditions that are ongoing. And we even have some snow still out there. This has not been a big snow event, but there's snow that's falling, and that complicates things even further for our visibility issues down along the state line with South Dakota. But we also have a band that's now pushing into the Fargo-Moorhead area, up around that Harwood area, and stretching back over along I-94 through Cass County, and that's dropping to the southeast. So this is going to make our visibility even worse for a time as that continues to fall in the FMS metro. A blizzard warning remains in effect through the morning and into the early afternoon. In pink here, Grand Forks, Fargo included, surrounding areas in a winter weather advisory for blowing and drifting snow as well. And then, of course, the cold, too, associated with this. We've got wind chill warnings and advisories that will replace the warnings, the winter warnings, once the wind starts to calm down just a little bit. We're looking at temperatures dropping 15 below in Langdon, and we're at 26 above in Park Rapids. A big range. Fargo's at 3, but our wind chill's at 23 below. And Langdon, a wind chill of 45 below. So wind chills will become more and more of a concern as we advance through the day today, as that colder air continues to take over and those temperatures plummet through the day. Afternoon, the snow clears, the wind stays strong, gusting into the 30s and 40s, and just incrementally we'll watch it drop very slowly. So as we get into the evening hours tonight, it improves a little, but factor in that cold, and we're looking at wind chills that are going to remain a big problem for us, and temperatures into the teens and 20s below overnight tonight and into the morning hours for your Thursday. So that Arctic air will take over. We start to recover into the weekend. Watch out for a little more blowing snow on Friday. And now for a look at traffic, here's Devin Fry with the Valley Today's Traffic on the Move.
Thank you, Lisa. We're going to go and finish up this hour on I-94. We're heading east toward Minnesota. We just went through a pretty rough area in the interstate interchange between I-29 and I-94. Now that area is more wide open and exposed to the environments, and that leads to some pretty low visibility in conditions like these. You can see even in the areas where things are more sheltered, the visibility still isn't great. Up ahead just a little bit there is 25th Street. You can barely even see the sign signifying the exit there. So poor visibility no matter where you're going to go this morning. The worst visibility that I've experienced, we've been doing this all morning so far, the 19th Avenue area, 19th Avenue North I should say, right around the airport, the visibility there isn't any visibility, especially like the closer you get to the Fargo Dome, the better it is. However, around the airport, pretty much no visibility there on 19th. 52nd Avenue was also looking pretty blustery, but overall the visibility was a little bit better than it was on 19th. And the areas like 25th Street or 45th Street where you're heading north, you're going right into this wind here. The visibility gets real bad in those areas. Traffic flow starting to increase here, but we're all going a bit slower because of the conditions. We're all going about 45 to 50 miles an hour here on I-94. So give yourself plenty of extra time as you make your way out the door today. We're going to keep checking out the roadways in the next hour on the Fargo CW, but for now, for your traffic on the move, I'm Devin Fry.
North Dakota health officials are keeping a close eye on 3 people who may have been exposed to the coronavirus. The patients returned to the state from China.
State health officials are checking every day to see if they are showing any symptoms, such as a fever, cough, difficulty breathing, or a sore throat. Officials stress that these people are not under investigation, but they were asked to avoid public places. Cass County Social Service inspectors say they have again found issues with a West Fargo daycare center. Tiny Town closed last August after its owner had her license revoked for improper discipline and being short-staffed. It reopened in November under her husband's name.
Inspectors have since showed up and found some problems, like no director being present and not having a person qualified to be a supervisor. Tiny Town was given 20 days to fix the problems, which they say they will. CBS News projects Senator Bernie Sanders is the winner of the New Hampshire Democratic primary. It's a repeat victory for the progressive senator. He bested Hillary Clinton there in 2016.
Former South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg finished second, and Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar was third. That strong showing prompted Klobuchar's campaign to announce they're adding staff in Nevada, South Carolina, and Super Tuesday states. Fargo police are asking for help finding a suspect in a liquor store robbery from last fall. It happened on Halloween night at Royal Liquors on Main Avenue.
The robber was wearing a white mask and a black hooded sweatshirt with a white logo on the front, as you can see on your screen. Contact the Fargo police if you have any information about this incident. An Otter Tail County man is suing that county and one of its sheriff's deputies for what he says was excessive force during an arrest. Cameron Bodin claims that he suffered a serious brain injury in December 2018 and is suing for $2 million.
Authorities had been looking for Bodin after a bar fight and found him at his home in Parker's Prairie. One deputy's body camera shows Deputy Jeremias Krupich punching Bodin several times in the face while sitting on top of him. Bodin says he had a series of surgeries as a result.
Let's get the answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. That question, according to a new survey, men are twice as likely as women to have this problem on vacation.
Uh-oh, they run out of underwear. They just don't think they need that many when they're on vacation, I guess. You're going to need your long underwear. Didn't you say that just the other day?
You need it today.
It's another cold one.
Yeah, we're looking at conditions that are going to be pretty brutal this morning. You can see out on our camera here that we've got very difficult conditions even in town. Blizzard this morning and into the early afternoon, and wind chills will become a bigger problem through the day.
More live up-to-the-minute news.